ألف باء تاء ثاء جيم حاء خاء دال ذال راء زاي سين شين صاد ضاد طاء ظاء عين غين فاء قاف كاف لام ميم نون هاء واو ياء باء تاء ثاء جاء حاء خاء داء ذاء راء زاء ساء شاء صاء ضاء طاء ظاء عاء غاء فاء قاء كاء لاء ماء ناء هاء واء ياء إي بي تي ثي جي حي خي دي ذي ري زي سي شي صي ضي طي ضي عي غي في قي كي لي مي ني هي وي يي أو بو تو ثو جو حو خو دو ذو رو زو سو شو صو ضو طو ضو عو غو فو قو كو لو مو نو هو وو يو.
Okay, Bismillah. Discussion is about vowels in the Arabic language. Unlike English, where vowels are made from the letters of the alphabet, in Arabic we have three distinct signs for vowels, and they are on the left hand side: Dhamma, Fatha and Kasra. So we have here a noon. So the way we would write a Dhamma is as follows. It's like a small vowel, and it has the sound of U. So the way you pronounce this is Nu. Nu. Now you can watch this video, which will pronounce all the letters with a Dhamma. Secondly, we have the Fatha. Now with Fatha, it's written as a line on top of the letter. and it has the sound of a. That would be na. Na. So you can watch this video to listen to the letters of the alphabet being pronounced with a fatha. Finally, we have the kasra. With the kasra, it's similar to a fatha, but it's written on the bottom of the letter. And it has a e sound. So that would be pronounced as ni. You can watch this video to listen to the letters of the alphabet being pronounced with a kasra. Now, it's a good idea to memorize these three names, Dhamma, Fatha and Kasra, which will help you through your studies in Arabic. So let's do an example of a word that has these three vowels in the word. So let's try to pronounce this word. So we have this is a kaf, so it has a k sound, and on top of it is a dhamma, so there's an u sound. So that would be ku. Ku. Then we have the ta with a kasra, so that would be ti. So ku ti. And then we have the ba with a fatha on top. And remember, the fatha has an a sound, so that would be ba. So it would be ku ti ba. Kutiba. Kutiba. Which means it was written or it was prescribed. So that's a brief explanation of vowels. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد. In this video, I'm going to be explaining short vowels in the Arabic language. Unlike English, in English we have 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. In Arabic, we only have 3, and they are what is known as fatha, dhamma, and kasra. So let's first of all just understand how they're written. So in front of us we have the letter fa, and when we add vowels in Arabic, it's different to English. We don't add them after the letter. We add it on top of the letter. So fatha will be written as follows. It's written with a line on top, like that. Al-dhamma will be as follows. It's like a small wow. And we have the kasra, which is like a fatha but on the bottom. So let's assume that this is the line where we write. The fatha would be on top of the letter, dhamma would be on top as well, and kasra would be on the bottom. So fatha, dhamma, kasra. So that's just the terminology, and inshallah we'll find out how they're actually pronounced. So we have the first harakat, which is fatha. Now, for example, when we say the word cat, notice the a sound. It's a sound. Cat. That's the same sound of a fatha. Now, we have here, I've transliterated cat into Arabic. So we have the kaf here, so it makes the same sound, the k sound. And then we have the ta, which is equivalent to the t in English. So this says cat. So notice the vowel is on top, not after it, as in cat. And obviously in English we write from left to right, while in Arabic we write from right to left. So in English, when we read a word, we read it this way. In Arabic, it's actually upwards, like that. So we read the first letter and what harakat has first, the second letter, what haraka it has, and so on. Now, similarly, back, the word back, so it's the same sound, back. Now, just something to note is when we say this sound, the sound, you'll notice your mouth is open, wide, Now let's just practice. We have here a word in Arabic. So to pronounce this, we have 3 letters here. We have the jim, which has the j sound. Like, for example, the word jeep, or jog, or Jupiter. So j, it's a j sound, and there's a fatha there. So this will be pronounced as ja. Then we have the lam here. That's equivalent to the letter L in English. Like the word look. To pronounce the lam with the fatha, it's la. So ja, la. And then finally we have the sin. That's equivalent to the S sound in English. So this will be sa. So ja, la, sa. Jalasa. So jalasa means he sat. And notice we don't elongate. There's no elongation of the sound. So we don't say like in, for example, when we say the word car. It's car. It's not car. So this will be 1 syllable. That's another syllable. And that's another syllable. So there's 3 syllables. Ja, la, sa. Now here, when we say car, there's an elongation. That's written differently, and we'll explain that later on, inshallah. Just to note, it's a quick sound. So just ja, la, sa, jalasa. Not jalasa or jalasa. No, jalasa. There's no elongation. Okay, we've reached the dhamma now. So it's a small letter wow. What letter does a dhamma make? It's like the word book. Although there's 2 letters, both of the there's 2 O's. Although there's 2 letters here, it's pronounced like a dhamma. Unlike, for example, the word choose. So when we say choose, there's an elongation there. We say choose. We don't say choose. It's not choose. It's not choose. It's choose. So although in English they can actually sound differently, even though they're written the same way, they sound differently. In Arabic we don't have this. So the way it's written is the way it's pronounced. To transliterate this in Arabic would be the following. Here. So this is the ba, and we have the dhamma. And you'll see it's going like this. That's just the way it's written. It doesn't really matter if it's like that or like this. It's the same thing. So just 1 point note there. That's just the script. That's the way the script is. So that's a ba with a dhamma. Notice when I say dhamma, it's very important. Some people actually they don't say it with a dad. They say it with a dal. So they say dhamma. It's not dhamma. It's dhamma. Maybe non-Arabs will find this hard to pronounce, but that's inshallah as you progress in your Arabic studies, and when you actually learn the rules of pronunciation, you will improve on that, inshallah. We have here the ba with a dhamma, followed by the kaf, which is the K sound. So here it's pronounced as book. This letter alone with the dhamma would be bu. So book. Similarly, we have the word in English put. It's put. So there's a u sound. That represents the sound that a dhamma makes. Put. Now I didn't transliterate that put because actually there's no p sound in classical Arabic. Those in Iraq, for example, they actually use the P sound, but actually it's not in the original in classical Arabic. So usually when you pronounce something with a P, it's represented by the ba, usually. Now let's just practice this. We have a word composed of 3 letters. Both the first 2 letters are actually with a dhamma. There's a sin. So we have, if we break this up, there's a sin with a dhamma. Then there's a ba with a dhamma. And there's the lam. So to pronounce this has a S sound. So su, bu, and this is the lam, like the letter L. So subul, subul. Now I'm deliberately not pronouncing the last haraka on this letter, because when we start going to Arabic grammar, we'll find out that this actually changes. It's the same word. It will be the same word, but the last letter, the haraka or the vowel on the last letter will change depending on the word's function in the sentence. Subul means paths. And that's the plural of the word sabil. Sabil is a path, and this is the plural, paths. Let's get to the kasra. The kasra, as we showed you, is a line at the bottom of the letter, and the sound it has is like the word sit. So it's like the I in the word sit. So it's a E sound, E. So for example, if I transliterate that into Arabic, it's like that. So you have the sin with the kasra, si, and that's the ta. So sit, sit. So for example, we have the following word. It's ma, that's a fatha, so ma, and then the lam, li, and then the kaf, ki. So maliki, maliki. Malik means king. So let me just write this, a king. So let's practice all these together. So the fatha, the dhamma, and the kasra all together. We have a word. Let's practice this word and try to pronounce it. So we have here the kaf with a dhamma. So that would be ku. Then we have the ta with a kasra. This will be ti. And then the ba with a fatha would be ba. So ku, ti, ba. Kutiba. Now, kutiba means it was written or it was prescribed. So that's just a brief explanation of the short vowels. And inshallah, in the next lesson, we'll be talking about the long vowels.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي.
A, I, U, Ba, Bi, Bu, Ta, Ti, Tu, Tha, Fi, Thu, Ja, Ji, Ju, Ha, Hi, Hu, Kha, Khi, Khu, Da, Di, Du, Tha, Vi, Thu, Ra, Ri, Ru, Za, Zi, Zu, Sa, Si, Su, Sha, Shi, Shu, Sa, Si, Su, Da, Di, Du, Ta, Ti, Tu, Tha, Thi, Thu, A, I, U, Gha, Ghi, غو فا في فو قا قي قو كا كي كو لا لي لو ما مي مو نا ني نو ها هي هو وا وي وو يا يي يو. Okay, in this lesson we're going to be talking about the lack of a vowel, which in Arabic is known as sukoon. Now here we have letter fa. I want to show you how sukoon is written. Now when we actually represent no vowels, we don't just leave the letter without any marks. Sukoon actually is represented by either like a small circle on top, or with this mark here. So you will find both used. Now, let's look at some examples. So if you remember the last video, we went through these words and I transliterated the words into Arabic. That's cat, both in Arabic and English. Now here we have haraka there with the kaf, and then notice there's actually a stop on the letter T. So we say cat. So the T doesn't have any vowel associated with it. It's actually just a stop on the T. So in this case, we would actually put a sukoon there. Cat. If we gave it actually a mark, for example, the fatha, it'd be kata, or katu, or kati. Similarly, the word back. So it's back. So there's a sukoon there as well. And we have the word book. Same thing. Book, there's a sukoon there. Now I also want to mention, so here the sentence reads خرج الرجل من البيت, and you stop there. Now notice the last letter has a kasra. When we actually stop, we give it a sukoon. There's no sukoon that's written down, but we pronounce it as if there was a sukoon. For example, in the Quran, this is in Surah Fatiha, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. It's mustaqima. There's a fatha there, but we don't pronounce that fatha when we stop. So we have this verse from the Quran, and I want to highlight something based on the script that is used in the famous Saudi print of the Quran. With this particular script, it uses this sign for sukoon. So that says qul. That's a command. It means to say. Qul. So it's written like that. Then we have here another sukoon, and there's another sukoon there. Now one thing to note, if you go a bit further on, we find this. Remember we said that sukoon can also be represented by this sign here, by this, it's like a circle. This circle in the Mus'haf is not a sukoon. It doesn't represent a sukoon. And you actually find two types of these circles. One of them is like a normal circle, and one of them is more like a long circle, like that. Both of these are used in the Mus'haf to represent tajweed rules. Now, outside of the Quran, you'll find that a sukoon can be represented by an O. So inshallah, in this lesson, we're going to be speaking about the long vowel. In Arabic, it's called med, which also means elongation. Now in English, we have the following words. The word bad. Notice the elongation of the A sound. We don't say bad, we say bad. Similarly, we have the word feet. We don't say fit, we say feet. There's an elongation of the E sound. and also the word food. So we don't say food, we say food. So there's the elongation of the U sound, food, not food. Now if I transliterate this into Arabic, I get the following. So we have bad, feet, and food. In the first example, bad, it's the A sound that's being elongated. And that's denoted by this fatha here, which has the A sound, followed by the alif. And that's where we get the A sound, the elongation there, the long vowel. Similarly, here we have a kasra, and then following it is the ya. So it's a E sound. And finally, we have here a dhamma, followed by the waw. So it's a U sound. So we'll come to know actually that the long vowels are created in these three following ways, which are having a fatha, followed by the alif, a kasra, followed by a ya, and a dhamma, followed by a waw. So they represent the three long vowels. So inshallah we'll go through some words and to see how the long vowels are pronounced. So here are some words. First one here is qala. Notice the elongation of the A sound. Qala. Not qala, qala. So we have the fatha on the qaf, followed by the alif. Next word is jihad. So we have here G, that's the first syllable, and then had, jihad. So you notice here we have a fatha on the ha followed by the alif, and that gives the elongation of the A sound. Next word, Ibrahim. So here, ra. Notice here the ra fatha followed by the alif. Once again, it's a long vowel. Ibra. Not ibra. Ibra. Ibra and then him. Ibrahim. Here the ha has a kasra followed by the ya. So here there's the elongation of the E sound. It's he. Him. Ibrahim. Similarly, here we have Kareem. Now Kareem is actually a adjective that means one who's generous. So here we have the ra, kasra, followed by the ya. This is the ya here. So Kareem, not Karim. Next word, maghdoob. So maghdoob here has a dhamma on the dad, followed by the waw. So it's an elongation sound. So it's a u sound. So it's maghdoob. And finally, here, qubur. Qubur. So there's the u sound again. They have a ba with the dhamma followed by the waw. So you can see how the long vowel is formed there. Now there is another mad, which is when two hamzas come together. But I actually thought that it would be more appropriate to mention that and when we get to the introduction to grammar, Arabic grammar. Now, just finally, I want to translate these words. So we have qala means he said. Jihad denotes the action of struggling and exerting effort. Ibrahim is the Arabic name for Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him. And as we said, Kareem means one who's generous. Maghdoob denotes somebody who is the object of anger. So one who anger is directed towards. And finally we have the word qubur. Qubur is the plural of the word qabr, which means grave. So qubur means graves. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah. So this lesson we're going to speak about the double letter. When we have two letters that are the same joined together. Now this joining is called shadda, and it means to join with strength. So if we take the word shadda, what Arabs use for the sign of shadda is the following. It's just that part of the word shadda, which is that. So if we want to double this letter, what we do is we add the shadda. That's it there. Now, a point to note is that the shadda will always have a vowel mark accompanied with it. Either the fatha, the dhamma, or the kasra. So, for example, we have here 3 scenes with a shadda and the 3 different harakat. So, as you can see, the shadda with a dhamma, the shadda with a kasra, and the shadda with a fatha. One point, the kasra here is usually written under the shadda, or it can actually be written underneath the letter itself. So the actual kasra can go down here as well. But the shadda stays there. The shadda will never be on the bottom. Another point is the shadda can go on any letter, except for the hamza or the alif. So any other letter can accept a shadda. Now let's dissect the shadda on top of these letters. So we said that the shadda represents a doubling of the letter. So here, there's 2 scenes, because the shadda is there. So there's one scene, followed by another scene. Now the first scene will always have a sukoon. And then the second scene will have the actual harakah. Now let's put, for example, a letter before it, because we know that a word cannot start with a sukoon. You can't have a letter with a sukoon starting off a word. So let's put the ra, for example. So to pronounce this, we would say ressu, ressu. Notice how I give the double letter. Ressu, ressu. Now similarly, this is 2 scenes as well. The sukoon is on the first, followed by the kasra on the second. So if you put the ra once again, it would pronounce as rassi, rassi. Notice how I give emphasis to the scene. It's the doubling of the letter. Not resi, rassi. And similarly, the scene with the shadda and fatha is a scene, another scene. There's a sukoon there, and there's a fatha there. So if we put the ra, for example, actually let's change the letter. Let's put the meme. So the meme would be joined to it, and a fatha here. And I assumed that these were fathas as well with the ra as well. So that's why it was rassi and rassu. So here it's massa. This is actually a verb. Massa means to touch. Now, how this verb is actually written is the following. It's a meme followed by a sin, and there's a shadda, and it's massa. So a double letter will not be represented in this way. It will be done in this particular way with the shadda. Now, a letter that has a shadda can never start a sentence, as we said. That's why I put a letter that has a haraka on it. So let's put the fathas on those. So notice I put those huruf, those letters, in front, because there's no word that starts with a sin, with a sukoon, or any letter that has a sukoon. Let's look at some words with the shadda. So here we have 3 words, actually 4 words, because iyaka actually is made up of 2 different words. We have a particle and a pronoun. So how do we pronounce this? Iyaka. Notice the ya gets a double vowel because of the shadda there. Iyaka. It's not iyaka, iyaka. Also here, al-hajju. It's not al-hajju, it's al-hajju. And here, rabbi. So it's alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. There's a shadda there. It's not rabbi. So if I want to dissect this, it would be the ra followed by 2 bas. There's the fatha there. The first ba takes a sukoon. And the second text say kasra. So it's Rabbi. So you notice actually that a shadda will always give a new syllable to the word, because the new syllable starts here. It's in between the first and the second letter that has the shadda. So that's briefly about the shadda. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now this is a pronunciation exercise from what we learned so far. So the first one is, it's ba-nu, banu. Next one is bu and nu, so it's bunu. Next one we see has a long vowel, so it's bana, not bana, bana. Next one, there's a sukoon there on the vowel, so it's bawna, bawna. Next one is a long vowel as well, it's the u sound, so it's boona, boona. The next is bayna. Then we have beena. This is a long vowel, beena. And finally, it's bayyana. So there's a shadda there. So it can actually be written as follows: the ba, then the ya, followed by another ya, and then finally the noon. So, bay, ya, na. So when there's a shadda, there's a double letter. The first letter has a sukoon, and the second has the harakah that it has, which is here the fatha. So, bayyana. Now let's go to the 5 words below. We'll pronounce it and give you the meaning. So the first word is fi. So you notice there's the elongation, the long vowel. Fi means in, and that in could either be physical or abstract. So if we say fil bayt, in the house, or it could be abstract. For example, if I say fi ra'yi, which means in my opinion. Okay, next we have, and you notice here the long vowel as well, rana. And rana is a verb which means to cover in dirt or rust. Next word is kayfa. Kayfa. Kayfa means how. So for example, if we meet somebody and say kayfa haluka, how are you? Next word, huda. Now this is not actually a ya, it's an alif. It's called an alif maqsura, and it's exactly like an alif, the way it's pronounced. It's like a ya without the 2 dots. So we say huda. There's the elongation as well, because the fatha followed by an alif. If this wasn't there, it will be huda, but huda with the alif. Finally, we have the verb kassara, which means to smash something into many pieces. It's an intensive form. With verbs, when we have the shadda, the verb involves intensity. And you can actually feel it the way it's pronounced. Kassara instead of kasara. So once again, there's the kaf, followed by 2 scenes, and then the ra. So kas, skune, sara. Kassara, not kasara. So it's very important with the shadda to give it the double sound. And sometimes people might be a bit too hasty and not give that double letter. My best advice to you is maybe go through the Quran and try to read it and have, for example, a recording of it, a clear recording, and see if you pronounce it exactly the same way. I must warn you, there are many rules that might cause you to be a bit confused, and you might ask, why is it recited in this way? It should be this way. But usually, most words in the Quran will be recited the way that they are written. So we finish the pronunciation. Wa sallallahu alaihi wa sallam Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.